Hey guys, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and this is a live stream. Never been to a live stream before. Get prepared for some back and forth with the fans, and I talk about stuff, and you talk about stuff, and that's kind of how conversation goes. Totally interactive stuff going on. Now, if you're here for the crazy thumbnail, real quick, it is Hennessey is going to build 3 of these. They're going to be a Hellefont engine. Hellefont usually gets 1,000 horsepower. This is going to be bumped up to 1,200 horsepower. 6x6, extended bed, all the kind of stuff, graphics, all the kind of cool stuff going on. $500,000, just $500,000 is your price for that. Goes on sale September 4th. Get on the phone lines, order one today, and you have maybe a chance of doing it, of getting that truck that you want to drive. I don't know how long the tires are going to last on that thing. I'm sure the 0 to 60 is insane, but I just think it's interesting that Hennessey loves these 6x6s. So how long till SEMA loves 6x6s? Are we going to see 6x6s everywhere? And how much is too much? So you guys have seen the SEMA trucks, all the build, big bling and all that kind of stuff. Where do you draw the line? And unfortunately, or not unfortunately, my snarky friends told me they draw a line starting with the bed, and they kind of around the cab, and they draw a line. I'm talking about where do you, the consumer, draw a line? And when is too much, too much? So there you go. That's the details on that monstrosity. But yeah, apparently they told Motor Authority they have 3 engines and they can only do 3 of the builds. And the Hellefont engine is really hard to get a hold of. I've talked to other people about it, and it's really a tough engine to get hold of. Apparently not making a whole lot of them. So that's the deals. That's the deal on that. So yeah, that's what's happening there. This is the precursor to the Labor Day weekend. But you guys are going camping this weekend, and I'm going to unplug as best I can. I'm an addict with my cell phone, and this weekend I'm going to try not to. So that's the details. And also, it's Taco Tuesday. That's why I'm going early. All questions there. Taco Tuesday. That's why we go early. I love meats and tacos. All right. So Juan is cooking some pasta. Brandon's this build might actually be bad for Ram. Not everyone's going to want Hellefont and TRX of the week, 702 horsepower. Yeah, when is 702 horsepower a week? Also, I have some news to share tomorrow on a Silverado ZR2. There's a customer satisfaction survey. I'll be sharing that news later this week. And that Ram bested Toyota. Yes, it's true. And so news coming out there. You guys get all the precursors of what's going on. Hennessey makes a badass build, especially on the Raptor. Yeah, so Brandon talks about Hennessey building and selling a lot of them on the Middle East, that the Middle East countries buy those trucks that they build, the crazy builds. And I had another friend online on Facebook talk about that as well, that Hennessey sells a lot of these to the Middle East. So it makes sense, right? 6x6 in a desert, only place you can drive the damn thing. I ain't driving out to Walmart. Yeah, so kind of crazy. Brandon wants to know, how's your website doing? I had a meeting today with Jill, the managing editor. She'll be doing some videos for this channel. She decided to, that's what she wants to do. And the website is up something like 344% year over year. And it's up 80% month over month. And we're at 82,000 page views. So we're closing in on 100,000 page views, which is a huge milestone for me. And oh, by the way, I grabbed my phone, but the phone doesn't have it. It's on the computer I'm looking at. The YouTube channel is closing in on 9 million watch hours. 9 million watch hours, which just blows my mind. And we're closing on 34,000 subscribers, and the numbers are insane. The channel keeps growing, so thank you to you for making that happen. Lots of cool stuff doing that. So it is just, it's insane. You guys are powering this channel so much right now, and I thank you for that. I just had my best month ever for revenue, ever. And every time I look around, we're setting new records in revenue and traffic, and it's just craziness. And you know, it's interesting. I did the Ram 2021 changes. We did the Jeep Gladiator changes, Jeep Wrangler changes, which I should do a video on that one. And ProMaster City changes on the website. You can look at all 4 of those stories, find what's new in 2021. I was surprised at the lack of coverage of those changes. I think right now, with the news cycle being kind of slow because of COVID and stuff going on, why don't we talk about new model year changes? And so I thought it was kind of interesting. So I hope you guys appreciate that. We worked really hard. Jill and I worked really hard back and forth, and I did the video on the 2021 and getting all the information to you. So I hope you appreciate that stuff, because it was a lot of work. Christopher Sanchez, when is the Ford Expedition going to be refreshed? That is a great question. You know, I drove one a couple weeks ago, and it's much like I have the Toyota Sequoia outside right now, which I didn't think you get much traffic on that, so I don't think you guys care about that. But they're both ridiculously outdated compared to the new Tahoe and Yukon, which we'll have the Yukon on this channel in mid-September. I'm surprised it hasn't been redone. I'm hearing nothing from Ford. I'm hearing nothing. And so nothing in the pipeline. I was thinking about their future plans, and I don't recall hearing anything about Expedition. So it makes sense that once the Raptor gets launched, they'll have a new F-150, a new Raptor, new Explorer. It's got to be in the mix, right? I mean, they got to do something. It's pretty interesting. I was thinking that they need to do something soon because that's where the market's going. Oh, by the way, Jeep Grand Cherokee news will be available on Thursday. So looking for the new Jeep Grand Cherokee, that news will be on Thursday. Really? Thomas Darwin says, Brandon says, I'm assuming you can't finance that truck at 0% for 2 months, right? Right? The Hennessey thing? Shikar says, I think I got that right. I'm trying. Take that chassis as a 6x6, make it into a unibody commercial vehicle. Motorhome industry would love it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be interesting. When is the mailing of a new Ford Raptor? I'm not hearing anything currently. I was thinking I'd hear something pretty soon. I'm guessing still October-ish. And I think the Silverado, they're calling now the ZR2, will be shortly after that. I think both trucks are done, just a matter of timing. Tim, my website's biggest fan. I know, Brandon did all over the website, and he sent me a story on the solar panels for a tonneau cover, so you can charge your power tools inside the bed by using the solar panels to generate electricity. Kind of a cool story. I ran it today. So, hey, Brandon, do you ever want to contribute to the website? You can do it. Absolutely. All Train Nation is here. Hey, David, hit that thumbs up button. Thanks, Mike. Mike Fusion. Christopher Sanchez, is the Ford Ranger Raptor will offer a 2.7-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 here in the U.S. for 2022 model year. I'm hearing a lot of stuff with the Ford Ranger. I'm hearing a lot of stuff. I'm hearing that they're going to build a trimmer version. I've seen some swap photos of that. I'm hearing stuff about the Ranger Raptor coming to the United States. What I think the bigger picture here is when the Ford Ranger gets redone, it's going to be like a global Ford Ranger, and so they'll share parts and style and design across the world. I think when they do that, it'll take away their excuse for being a Ranger Raptor over here. I think it's going to be all the same parts. Everything's going to be the same, and so I think they'll be able to bring it over here. With the success of the Colorado ZR2, Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, and the kind of iffy sales on the Ranger so far, I don't see why the hell not they'd bring it over. Now, 2022, that gives us 2 years. It makes sense. I would think so. I don't have any confirmation on that, Christopher, but I think that makes total sense. I don't know if it'll be a 2.7-liter. Could be a 3.5. You know, they get the bigger engine in there. I'm hearing whispers that Ford's going to offer 2 engine types in the Raptor and try to meet that market. They think that people want the fuel economy and the performance of the Raptor versus the sweet-sounding exhaust. I'm in the sweet-sounding exhaust camp because I want a truck that sounds badass, not just looks badass. And so I think that they need to do something to appease both customers. Yeah, Ford is in Bronco mode right now. You know. Yes, really on that Ram over Toyota. It's not. I would say this. They tied. I should say they tied them. Which even then, if Ram tied Toyota and customer satisfaction, holy cow, that's a long way for Ram. Yes, Brandon, I am not going to overheat the Sequoia transmission. I did think about that today, though. I did think about doing that, but I thought I don't want to do my OBD2 sensor, and frankly, I've covered the crap out of that transmission oil cooler story, and I'm kind of done. And unless a class action lawsuit comes out of it, I'm kind of done covering the story because I think you guys are over it too. I'm over that story. Let's see what happens. I've reported on it a dozen times, and let's see what happens. Although I did have a really interesting exchange with a guy who said I was wrong, and they kept the transmission oil cooler in a 19 and 20 Tundra, even though I got Mike Swears to say they took it out twice. Once in a statement, once on camera, and I finally was just, this guy would not stop messaging me, and I just had to leave him alone. I'm like, if the chief engineer of the truck tells you they took it out of the truck, then why the hell do you think you know better than that chief engineer? Frustrating comments. I did have somebody tell me F off too, for no apparent reason. That was interesting. You guys, one of these days we should do like a live stream where I show you guys the comments. That's what I should do. I should put the comments on the screen, and you guys can check them out. Oh, by the way, selfie camera, move that away. I got a new shipment of hats. $25, Tim at pickuptrucktalk.com on PayPal. Send me your address, and I'll ship you a hat. I make $5, you get a hat. What happens? I'm not making $1 million in this channel. But a fresh assortment. I had to get a new one myself. I had the old logo, and they're all getting worn out. I'm taking this camping, so yeah. And I'm having another camping hat too. Let's see. Will the new Ford Raptor have a V8 engine from the new Shelby Mustang G2 500 burner? Brandy Sanders says, yes. Saunders. Yes, I believe so. I believe it's going to have a supercharged V8 option, and they will keep the twin turbo 3.5 liter high output, or they'll do a hybrid version. I think the rumor is they're going to have 2 engines for that, and I believe they're going to do supercharged. The rumor I heard today was that the ZRX, or the ZR2, whichever they go with, will not have a supercharged engine, which I think is kind of ridiculous. So Chevy doesn't have supercharged, Ram will have a supercharged, and Ford will have a supercharged. Lots of, all right. Yeah, first issue. Yeah, I think it's going to have some. Not much excitement in the media about the updated 2021 Colorado interior needs some improvements. I know I ran that story. I ran a video on it, didn't I? I did a video on it. And I actually reached out to the Colorado PR guy, and he's put some photos on the media site because currently people are taking screenshots of the commercial version of the Colorado. I don't know. I would like to, I like the Colorado. Big fan. Eric Mings, any chance you'll get your hands on a 2021 Trail Edition Tundra? Oh, yeah. Yep. I'll get one. That'll happen. Yeah. Oh, Brandon knows the commenter. Brandon is so involved in the channel. It's so much fun. Yeah, that guy was, oh my God. I was like, just stop. I was like, just stop. Yeah, it was really crazy. Let's see. Do the comments. Hey, Sean. Hey, Tim. Don't talk. Welcome to Reach tonight. It's going to be some Crown in the Cup. Crown in the Cup. Nissan Nation's back with this other channel. You need to go follow Nissan Nation, probably Nissan Nation News. He's doing interior updates for the Frontier. I did not cover it because it is, it's such a lame update. And he's got his new channel, All Terrain Nation. Go check those guys out. Good time with Dave. And but yeah, the new Frontier interior was spied, and it is so lame. I didn't want to spend the money on them. There was 100. I don't want to talk about the money for the spy photos. That's between me and them. But anyways, it was more than 3 digits that's by those photos of a really lame interior, and I was not doing it. Let's see, Tim. Brandon, I wonder if Ford will do away with the extended cab Raptor. Doesn't seem that it sells that well. I don't think so either. I think it's crew cab, 5.5-foot bed, supercharged V8. Make it simple, make it profitable. The crew cab with the 5.5-foot bed is the profit engine for most truck manufacturers, and just go with that. And I know people are like, oh, I want regular cab, long bed, I want this, that. Not gonna happen. Let's see. Rini says, I heard the GMC Hummer EV is going to be unveiling this fall. Production starts next year. Yep. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the email from GMC. I'm on the list. Just haven't heard anything news. Sean, lots of turbos and supercharged these days, and a lot of EVs. Weird, right? So we got GM EVs are future, and then they're like, oh yeah, but we're gonna do some turbos, and then Ram's like, screw the EV truck, we're doing the supercharged 6.2 liter. So it's such a weird place, the marketplace, and it's so exciting to cover this stuff. And I am still looking for EV truck news. Jill and I discussed that today, my managing editor at pickuptrucktalk.com, about doing more EV truck coverage. And we're looking at it. There's just not a lot of traffic on that. And people don't really seem to care. EV fanboys care. Tesla fanboys care. And I appreciate they care. I'm not dogging them at all. I'm not saying they're bad people. But I can't find more people than that care. Until we get something that's actually in production, like a Rivian or a Lordstown is actually in production, we can actually look at and knock on the windows and sit in and drive. It's hard to do EV truck coverage right now. And I will not do a, oh, hey, thanks, Dave, for the $5. Pass that back and forth. I won't do a speculation post because that's just bull. Dibby DeFail is here. I enjoy him in the comments. The new interior looks ridiculously similar to the old Frontier. The new interior. If you guys haven't done this, go look up the Nissan Frontier interior. I will not be running a video on it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend the money on it. And holy cow. They had 10, 15 years to do a new Frontier. And so far, it is the lamest thing I've ever seen. Holy cow. I'm sorry, my Nissan friends. I'm sorry. I know they don't like me right now because I don't love their trucks, but I can't get behind it right now. Christopher, when is the Toyota Land Cruiser going to be retired or should not be retired? I don't think it should be retired. The thing with when we look at Toyota Land Cruiser in the United States, we look at it as this big beast of SUV and it's ridiculously expensive, right? But Land Cruiser as a nameplate is huge globally. And so I've been at the Toyota Land Cruiser Museum in Salt Lake City, Utah. Blah, 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 blah. And it's a massive. It's really cool. I have some videos on this channel that didn't do so hot. But if you have some free time, check it out. Type in Toyota Land Cruiser Museum on my channel. It's really cool. I have the forefather to the Toyota Tundra on there. I have fire trucks. I got Land Cruisers that went around the globe. I got there's the one that was used in Iceland. Was it Iceland or Greenland? I think it was Iceland. Maybe it was Greenland. Anyways, big, huge tires, and there's a Toyota Hilux, and they have the museum too with Land Cruisers. And Land Cruiser has been around for a long, long time, and globally it's a huge thing. And what I like to see is Land Cruiser bring their truck over here. They make a front and rear locker, Hilux kind of a little bit longer, bigger than Toyota Tacoma, crew cab, diesel, low bed height. You know, a big thing about me and my bed height, low bed height truck. And if I were to ever buy an imported, not for the U.S. truck, it'd be that. That thing just checks all the boxes. It's a monster. And so check that one out. It's a LC something or other. It's badass. Yeah, Elliot's like that. Frontier is a heavy refresh, not redesigned. Heated seats or buttons are about 20 years old. It's just typical Nissan. They reuse. It's crazy. Shuts. Scott Smith, are you still going to review the 2021 Ford F-150? Absolutely. Absolutely. They got to build it and they got to ship. I'll probably be one of the first guys to do it because I'm on my local Ford dealer's website about every couple days, seeing what's new in inventory. I owe a guy in this channel an Explorer ST review. The nearest one I can find is like 8 hours away, so I can't find those things. But as soon as I get one here in the area, I'm going to do an Explorer review because I haven't seen many Explorer reviews online at all, and I've not been in a new one. New one's been in production now for a year. They screwed up the production. It's been way behind getting the marketplace, but I want to go check it out. And so I'm on the dealer's website checking it out. So as soon as he gets a new F-150 in, I'll be damn sure they're checking it out. And I really want to see the price tag on the dealer lot for the hybrid with the 7.2 kilowatt hour plug-in. I want to see what that is. Eating, listening. Juan's eating pasta. I'm doing tacos tonight. Tacos. I like taco night. I'm such a basic guy. Pizza Friday, Taco Tuesday. Awesome. I'm like 12. Let's see. What's the schedule for the Ford Maverick? That's an interesting question. What I'm hearing is it'll be next year. It'll be Ford Maverick. They'll do Bronco. They'll do Raptor, and then I think Ford Maverick is after that. But yeah, it's somewhere in that time period. I'm really curious about Ford Maverick. I want to see what you guys' thoughts are going to be when that comes out. You know, we have an old Nissan hardbody at the farm that we use for fixing fence, and that truck's basically the same thing as Nissan hardbody was. And I'm really curious in the price point, if they can hit that sub $20,000 price range, if they can hit that marketplace for landscapers and guys who just don't need a big truck. It'll be very interesting. It's a very interesting play by them. What's concerning to me is they'll have a Ford Maverick, a Ford Ranger. They're talking about doing a Bronco truck, so a Bronco truck in the middle there. And then they'll have the F-150, and they'll have the Raptor, all in before you get the Super Duties, right? So that's a lot of trucks in the half-ton and below segment. That's 5. And I'm really going to be curious to see what's going to happen with that many trucks in that segment for that price point. It's going to be really interesting. Yeah, the current Titan uses buttons that are from old Frontier. Yeah, they just don't use stuff. Riley, how did you hear about the Lordstown plant? I don't know. I think one of my news guys covered it. Carl probably covered it in Pickup Truck Talk. Typically, we either get emails or we'll hear from it from other news sources. Oh, too big to fail. Do the supercharged motors have intercoolers? I don't know that one. That's a good question. I know an intercooler helps with engine longevity like on a TRX. I don't know that one. I would have to do some more digging. Brandon, the problem with EV trucks right now is there are concepts that are not affordable for average consumer. Yes, absolutely. Mike, he's going to take that $4.99 back of that comment. Yeah, I'm sure. He's not a he's a Nissan fanboy, but he understands. He's practical. He's very practical about his thoughts. What is affordable for average consumer? Brandon knows the question going forth. Window buttons on both. Good question. Ford has 2 weeks ago. Ford has sold 1.2 million vehicles so far this year. Car sales are back, but I was thinking about this today as I was driving around because I do these things because I'm a journalist. I'm very curious about this stuff. Ford has not sold any cars this year besides the Mustang, right? Because all the cars got killed. Did they get killed? Here's a question for you guys, and you guys answer below. Did the cars get killed off last year so they're not on dealer lots this year? I haven't looked at Ford's sales reports that closely. I know the Mustang's still around, but I thought all the other cars were dead. So did they sell 1.2 million vehicles so far this year? And we're saying car sales, not car sales, we're saying truck and SUV sales are back. So that I was curious about this. He says, remember my old Ford rep would tell me all the time, he's like, don't send me an email because you want to drive the Mustang or Raptor. He goes, I sell those all day long. Send me an email you want to drive the new the Ford cars. I can't think of their names now, but anyways, he wanted me to do more car reviews, and because they can't sell any more cars, they were having trouble selling those. So I thought it was interesting. Like, I think has it been a year now that Ford has not sold a car besides the Mustang? I think it's pretty interesting. Elon's still trying to figure out how he can hit the window in the truck and it will not break. I thought Elon made a really good comment about a week ago, the Auto News. He said, if the Cybertruck doesn't work out, we'll just build a normal truck. We should do the normal truck in the first place. No worries. You guys stop fighting with Nissan. My friend's 2020 Silverado had a bed that at least a foot higher than my 03 Tacoma. Both two-wheel drive. Yeah, they're higher. And I don't understand why that was going on. It makes no sense to me. It used to be back in the 90s that a two-wheel drive truck and a four-wheel drive truck two-wheel drive truck was lower. You could just tell driving by which truck was two-wheel drive, which truck was four-wheel drive. If people would buy two-wheel drives, just working around the farm in different places because it was a work truck, two-wheel drive work truck, lower bed. And then designers and infinite wisdom were like, and now you can't tell them apart, which is fine, I guess, but still, there's no advantage then to the lower truck. Yeah. Last night, people really care about Maverick. There is that video I did a year ago, I think it was, about the Maverick and Mad Spy photos. I talked about it. Really still gets comments this day, still gets watches this day. There's a lot of demand for a affordable, truly compact truck again online. Asterisk. So does online interest equal real truck sales? That's a question. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting. I can't think of a 1973 Ford Maverick. Really hated that car. I did see the photos of that. There were some old advertisements about that Maverick. Whoa. Advertising has come a long way, folks. You get mad about ads right now, and there are always ads on TV, whatever. You got to appreciate the ads we have are really a lot better than the old advertisements they had. Whoa. Christopher Sanchez, any news about the refresh for the Ram 1500? Let's see. The Ram 1500 came out in 19. So typical truck cycle is 7 years. At 19 or 18. Because they did the Ram Heavy Duty the year after. So I would say, I'm going to say 18 now. Brandon's going to correct me. I'm going to say 18. So in 3 years, so in 7 years, 2025. So that's about your time for the full refresh. I think they're doing a bunch of improvements this year. There'll be like Ford a little bit where they're going to keep continually improving it. And I got to be honest with you. The Ram is so damn good. It just is. I don't know what else it can do. I'm constantly amazed at what automakers pull out of their bag of tricks to do with, because trucks are really good. And truck reliability is really good too. Looking at the initial quality scores, the consumer complaints, the reliability stuff we've done on this channel, there's tons of reliability videos. I was on a radio or a podcast. I talked about this. I said, I think the biggest takeaway when you look at the reliability ranking videos I've done, reliability stories I've done, is that consumers should never feel more confident in the reliability of their truck. Are there still lemons? Yes, there's still lemons out there. But I will tell you that the trucks have become so much more reliable than they ever have in the past. And that's the biggest takeaway, is that, yes, transmission oil cooler here, intercooler issue here with the EcoBoost back in the day, issue here, issue there. But, when you look back at the Ford early 2000s with snapping spark plugs and had drilled a hole in the intercooler to drain the water out for the EcoBoost, I think they've come a long way. And that 5.3 liter from Chevy has been around for a decade. And even though there's conversation about the active fuel management, drinking some more oil, or the dynamic fuel management, maybe drinking some oil now too, oil usage, be damned, it's still lasting a long period of time. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that trucks are more reliable overall. All right, so there's that. Maverick really can't be more than 20,000 MSRP. Was missed by price territory. I'd agree. I would think they're going to have some higher trim levels, right? They'll have some higher trim levels than 20, but I got to say the fleet truck option has got to be sub 20. When's Lordstown supposed to open? Last I heard, Riley, was they were trying to go public to raise money. They're trying to raise money to build the truck, and so that's last I heard, was they're trying to get an IPO from a venture capitalist in a weird stock transaction thing. I didn't understand. I'm sorry, but they're trying to raise money. As every EV automaker out there has done, is they've shown a concept, they've shown their business plans, and now they're trying to raise money to pay for those plans. And so there's no ETA. It's basically they're looking for the 20 million, something like that, in that range, trying to get money to build the plant. Yeah. Well, Ford called it an F Maverick to keep looking like the top dog in truck sales. And I think that's a dab. Is that a dab? I think so. It's my kids do this. They go to the dab. I think it's a dab. That's what they do. They have SUVs too. Yeah, I think so. They have SUVs and trucks and SUVs. Sorry, too big to fail. You're right. I didn't mean that. Just a car. Maverick, I think, will get in the mid-30s, Brandon. The Ranger is almost 50 fully loaded. So when all new Ranger comes out, it'll be above 50 Gs, which is just nuts. That's an expensive midsize truck. The Fusion is the only Ford car available. They're all over Metro Detroit. But I thought they killed the Fusion. Did they kill the Fusion? Ford produced the Fusion until late July this year. Okay, so the Fusion's dead. The Thomas Darwin, the Fusion is priced really low right now at Fort Worth dealers. So the Fusion, yeah, it's dead. $3 from Nissan Nation. See, I told you he wasn't upset with me. They bring cars back. The new Ford CEO is a car guy. Yeah, he is, but he's a motorsports car guy. Not the same thing. Tough putting heavyweight things on a higher bed. Yes. Tough putting heavyweight things in the higher bed. Yeah, I agree. My brother and I had a trail boss last year deer hunting, and it had 2-inch lift with a high bed, and we shot a deer and we tried to go get it, and I had to back the truck up into a hill so we could load the deer because that 2-inch lift with a dead weight of a deer, that was a lot. We were tired of that day. Very tired of that day. Very tired. The advantage of two-wheel drive is price, not that hype anymore. Yes, I agree, Brandon. Yaz is here. Can you interview Tim? Can you interview Sandy Monroe? He's an engineer. He can explain like Cybertruck's gonna be a game changer. Oh, another Cybertruck video? I don't know. I'm gonna wait till they actually build it, Sandy or Yaz. That question came up today in my Facebook, and it was a question about will they actually build the Cybertruck? And I think until they actually build it, I'll interview them. But right now, I'm just not interested. There's so many concepts out there. Like, let's build it first. Prove it to me. Let's build it first. And wait a minute. I'm not an EV hater. I'm a practical guy. And if the Cybertruck sells and people want to buy it and they want to grow the truck market, absolutely. I got hats for them. I got tons of hats. So build it, buy it, do whatever you want to do. I just didn't like presentation at all, and it was a turd when I saw it. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, as my wife tells me many times. Price field mileage. 2019 was a new addition, at least for the half-ton Ram. So was it 19 then 20 for the heavy duties? Years are flowing together, guys. I'm sorry. Years flow together when you get older. Things just kind of go. So if you do 2019 and you do 7, so 2026 is about where we're at. But the truck market has been so hot, they keep making new changes all the time. I don't think you see new cab. I don't think you'll see new grill. You'll see new tailgate. You'll see interior, and you'll see tech. That's really the future right now, it looks like, with trucks. You're not going to see a whole cab redesign. You won't probably see a bunch of suspension differences or engine differences besides hybrid and things, but I don't know. I'm not really great. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Brandon, Mr. Truckopedia, I'll tell him. Current Ram 1500 entered the market second quarter of 2018 as a 2019 model. And the thing that was interesting was that 2019 model, that launch of that blew everybody's mind because typically it's a 2-quarter thing. So you reveal it in January, you build it in August, right? And so when Ram revealed it in January and built it in February, that was really surprising. That was like, oh, whoa. They blew people's minds away from that one. When is the Ram 1500 Classic going to be ended? You know, I don't think it's anytime soon. I just looked, and the 2021 Ram Classic will continue. Ram makes a bunch of money on that Classic, and people still want to buy it, and so heck yeah. No, it's going to continue to keep going. Yep, Ram. Yas says Ram just issued a rake off all the weather floor mats getting stuck in the pedal. Reminded me of Toyota. Reminded me of, I think GM's had the problem. My staff is on it right now. They're writing a story at pickuptrucktalk.com about that. And yeah, I saw the same thing. It's pretty interesting. 1.6 million, something like that. The Ram 1500 Classic is actually getting selling so good. I bet FCA keeps it. I agree. There's some rumors of updates to 1500 Classic. Not that I remember, Brandon. Remember any rumors about that at all? Brandon, since Ram doesn't have midsize, the Classic makes sense as lower entry level price truck for consumers. I think the Classic makes sense in so many different ways. It's just crazy. I think more automakers are going to start taking notes because Ram is killing it right now. Riley, is it bad that I look on Marketplace so I watch your lives? I'm looking at 2020 Chevy 1500 4x4 5.3. What's the price? $60,000 for a 2020 RST. Oh, goodness, $60,000. Brandon, Maverick should only come in XL and XL2. Yeah, absolutely. Tim Bonner, good name, Tim. What's the most reliable trucks in 2020? So currently, the status is Tundra is still number 1. I mean, Toyota's always claimed the first spot in reliability. Chevy's actually done pretty well. Chevy's closed the gap quite a bit, and they're really number 2 as far as long-term reliability from the studies I've done. Ford and Ram, I think, are probably going to be number 3 and 4, really, maybe 3.5 each. Ram has really improved their product, and Ford has stayed about the same, although I think Ford's biggest issue is their volume. they sell so many F-Series, I think the volume hurts them. Nissan, I would say, comes in number 5. But again, the group there is really tight. I don't think Nissan is a bad truck at all for quality. I think the group there is really tight. And who are they about? Oh, Honda's in the mix too, if you want the Ridgeline. So that's about where the market stands as far as full-size trucks. I don't know. I've done some looking in Nissan Frontier, the older prior generation Nissan Frontier, and that actually has similar reliability to Toyota Tacoma. And it makes sense. They've been building that truck forever. They worked out all the kinks. Trust me. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But really, I've talked to consumers, and it's hard to find a truck that's unreliable. Most stuff has been pretty good these days. Like I said earlier, the biggest takeaway for consumers is that trucks are really good. There's no more little BS problems. They sell the Fiesta and the Edge besides the Mustang. So isn't the Edge an SUV, though? I didn't think they sell this Fiesta anymore. Let's do the read the comments together. It'll be funny. The 5th gen heavy duty launched its 2019 model in January 2019. It's pretty good. Brandon's got Wikipedia pulled up all the time. The launch of Ram 15 gave them a huge advantage in the first market over GM. That it did. Mustang E1400. That's the future of trucks too. Makes internal combustion engines looks like an old grandpa's toy. I've said many times, I'm be sad when the internal combustion engine goes away because there goes the exhaust note. That's good stuff. Elliot, don't the factory all-weather floor mats have the attachments for floor mats so they don't move? I remember seeing this. They cut them out in the holes near the driver's seat, and they have little things that hold them in place. And I want to say I've seen them in Ram trucks too. I want to say the Laramie Longhorn has them for sure. And I want to say that the Rebel has it too. I think I've seen these. And so I'm a little surprised that they're going to recall these floor mats. Maybe it's a thickness issue. I don't know. But ever since Toyota did their unintended acceleration Congress, all the kind of stuff that happened with that, automakers have been putting holes in the floor mats and putting they're triangle things, and they hold the floor mat in. And so I'm surprised they're still recalling these on floor mats. Floor mats get recalled a lot. Benito, may you please elaborate on 3-liter Duramax overheating? Is this normal? So there's a video, Benito, on this channel, which you may have seen, where the engineer talks about it. And really, the thing is that truck is designed to run at a hotter temperature than older diesels used to. And so a lot of people are really concerned with the temperature on the diesel being too high. And GM's actually gone through and made little get to know your truck brochures. And it literally says in there what your truck may idle higher than, or may run higher than you anticipate. And that's because by design. And that engine is designed to run hotter by design. And so GM tells me it's not a problem with the engine itself. It's a problem with communication to the customers. And dealers are just doing some terrible work. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to have a GMC Sierra AT4. I'm going to do a video on towing with a off-road package truck because I got 7 emails over the weekend from a customer who just bought the wrong truck completely and is now having some serious regret thanks to dumb dealership salesmen. It's the first time I've ever seen this happen, and it was terrible. But I'm 2 weeks. I'll have that video for you guys in 2 weeks. So yes, that's my understanding, Benito, is that in the videos I've seen online too, it's been guys who are just freaking out about temperature and taking the dealership, and dealership saying it's fine. And I don't know why this brochure gets lost in the mix, but yeah, it's customers not understanding what's going on with that. Thomas Darwin, I wish Ford would make an F-150 Classic that looked like 1990s model before streamlining. What's interesting to me is Chevy has done a classic truck in the past, and Ram is now doing it for a longer period of time. Typically, they do a classic truck or the old style for like a year. My brother owns one. He owns a Silverado, or he did own one. He bought a new truck. He buys new trucks all the time. He bought a Silverado. It was like an LD, which was the last generation of the Silverado sold next model year. So let's say 2020s came out. He bought it in 2020, 2020 model year, but LD because of the 2019 design. And so I thought it was pretty interesting. I do wish automakers would put some style back in their trucks, but that's because fuel economy regulations and everybody's putting stuff in the air wind tunnels for fuel economy, and so everything's becoming much similar in design. Christopher Sanchez, when is Ford and Lincoln Nautilus going to be discontinued? I thought I heard something about Nautilus being killed off. I thought I did. I think it's coming pretty soon. Brandon, reliability 05 2019 Frontier is way underrated, as good as if not better reliability in competition. It is. It's a really reliable truck. Elliot, the new Tahoe is expensive. Sofian, I like Sofian. Reviewed a mid-trim, fully loaded SRT and it was $76,000. It was 2 other trim levels above that. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. And yeah, I'm trying to get into the Tahoe mix. It being Nebraska, I don't get first run of vehicles, so I got to wait. That was fine. I'd rather have the Tahoe for a full weekend versus the couple hours a lot of guys had it. Great exhaust note is a thing of a past. Too big to fail says the best V8s nowadays sound like a city bus. They do. I don't know where that left. Like I don't understand when the gas stations became a terrible place and when exhaust note became a thing you hated. And when did diesels have to be quiet? There's my 3 questions. I just think this issue. Interesting. Yes, I think the issue with adjustable floor pedals was the adjustable pedals all-weather floor mats. Oh, adjustable pedals go too far back or something. No. Interesting. I hadn't read the story. I passed along Yas, and I hadn't read the story. Might as well skip factory floor mats and just go straight to aftermarket WeatherTech. Husky, OEM are all similar in price. I like WeatherTech. Mike, my 18 has holes on triangle things. Yeah, the triangle things on the rubber factory floor mats on my Sport. Not sure what there is to recall. Already having runaway truck recall for cruise control. Another runaway truck. Yeah, runaway truck stuff is interesting. Dealership salespeople always say the tow rating for any truck is a max tow rating with the manufacturer list. One of a multitude of problems I have with some of the dealership salespeople. Okay, 19 and 20, only no runaway for me. Mike says the 2019 Silverado LD was only available in double cab. I think it could have been better. It had more options. Yeah, he ended up with double cab. He had a bunch of money off. Dougieito says, I don't remember ever wow, you think I'd have drinking the whole bottle. I don't remember ever encountering a smart dealership salesman or women. Seems like you get dumb kids or women who have their hooters half out. The women are at least entertaining. Well, I agree with that. Lincoln Continental will be done soon, making Lincoln a crossover-only company like Buick. That's the future, folks. Really, Riley, I just looked up the AT4. They have 66,000 with 1,000 on it, but badass. I think the AT4 is a better-looking truck than the Silverado Z71 or Trail Boss. I said it. Too big to fail. I like the new quiet diesels a lot. My neighbor has a 2018 Power Stroke, and it makes no noise unless he's on the throttle. It is interesting, though, but I didn't realize when that changed. Like, all of a sudden, I started going to these events, and I was like, wait, what happened? Like, what? It's just all of a sudden, just seemed like it totally changed. I missed the 2000 Super Duty diesel engine. The 2007 GM Classic model was great. Brandon says the 07 Classic had rear AC while the 07 did not. Oh, jeez. Your Truckopedia on look at my wife. On the rear AC is hilarious. But I can't see you paying $66,000 for a 1500. I can't either. Guys I know they do buy it, and they buy it because it's not a half ton, 3/4 ton, whatever. It's that's the truck they want. And so even though it seems expensive for that ton, the reality is it's the right truck for them, and it's what they want. And so that's why they spend the money on it. I remember I did a story years ago on a GMC Canyon before the Denali came out, or what? It was Denali. GMC Canyon Denali, which is kind of an absurd truck, right? Denali Canyon. 50,000, I think was the line that I interviewed a guy in Pennsylvania who went hunting a lot with his buddies. And I asked him, I said, why did you get a GMC Canyon Denali? All the other features out there. He says, well, for me, parking in the garage is a big issue. Getting down the trails is a big issue. I don't want to scratch my truck getting down these Pennsylvania back road trails. And he said, I don't want a big truck. Number three, I don't want a big truck climbing around. I want something I can get in and out, I can use as a truck. And new trucks have gotten too big. And I said, yeah, but you went to Denali. He goes, yeah. I'm a retired U.S. Marine captain, I think it was, whatever it was, U.S. Marine Corps. And he goes, this is the truck I wanted. I didn't care about the price point. I wanted this truck. I wanted all the features. He goes, actually, I was upset when I bought that truck because it didn't have all the bells and whistles I really wanted. They actually held back some of the bells and whistles on the Denali. I don't remember what the bells and whistles were he wanted, but he says, look, he goes, it doesn't matter that I spent that much on a mid-sized truck. That's what you guys see. You guys see that I spent this much money on a mid-sized truck. He said, for me, it was the right truck for me. And he goes, this is my last truck. He was like in his in his 70s. He goes, this is my last truck. I wanted everything I wanted in it because I wanted all the bells and whistles. This is it. And I thought it was a really interesting story and really shows you that, and my dad's example, he just bought a new Cadillac XT6. And he says, he didn't care about the price point. He cared, but didn't care because he wanted the features because he's like, I'm traveling with this. I don't fly. I want to drive in comfort. I'm sick and tired of cheap vehicles. I've had those for years. He goes, this is what I want. And that's that customer. The customer is saying, I want this size vehicle and I want all the bells and whistles. I know it's a lot of money, but I'm okay with that because this is my last truck. This is going to buy it for. He had a GMC Sierra Denali for like, oh gosh, he had it probably for like 10 years almost, or not 10 years, maybe he had like 8 years. He drove all over the country because that was his truck. And then he got too big and he took out too many curbs and he had too many issues parking it. And he wanted something smaller. Same with this Cadillac XT6, which made a lot of sense for him because he wanted all those features and he wanted to still have cargo room because he wanted to haul stuff to Florida and back to Michigan when he goes in snowbirds. And so it's really interesting. It was like, we talk a lot on this channel about how expensive the one truck is, how expensive the other truck is. It's like TFL did a thing about the $45,000 work truck and it's got a plastic steering wheel. And it's like, well, some guys, they're going to swap the steering wheel out anyways, or they're going to do something special with it. So who the hell cares what the price is? That's how they're going to do. And so, yeah, that's kind of interesting. All right, back to your comments. Elliot, yeah, dealers don't seem to know much except payments. My uncle got a 2019 Escalade. I had to show him how to use the infotainment. Yeah, agreed. Sound is number one. Juan says, Truckopedia, great name for a website, Tim. No. Mike, in my opinion, a good salesman is more about psychology, tricks, rather than knowledge. Works similar to politicians. Yeah. Too big to fail. Trucks have the highest profit margin for automakers. Sedans have the lowest in the U.S. Yes. Trucks are profit generators. How far am I from Wisconsin? Oh, I was born in Janesville, by the way, if you know Wisconsin. Let's see, Western Nebraska. We drive to Baraboo Campground. We've done that campground a few times. Where is that city at? Anyways, 14 hours, something in that range. Tim Brandon is number one. He knows a lot because he's funny and Christian. Christopher Sanchez, is the GMC midsize trucks will be a one-engine option, a 2.7 liter inline four in the future, powered by the Chevys? No, it won't be. No, they're going to offer multiple engines. We'll have more multiple engines. The 2.7. I think they're going to come out. I think they keep the Duramax diesel in that for a while. It's a smaller size one, 2, 3, something like that. They found a new plant to build that, so they'll have more options than that. I think Chevy takes a lot of crap for their trucks because of the design or whatever. And I think when you look back at the company and look at their sales, they actually kick butt. And I don't think they get a lot of credit right now. I think Ford and Ram are stealing all the spotlight. And I don't think Chevy's getting a lot of credit at all. And they built a pretty reliable truck. And they just had some misses with their styling. Their powertrains are solid. And so I think that you're going to see Chevy going to make a real big splash. as they improve their interior and their exterior, and you'll see their sales go up. I just think they get lost in the mix right now, and so that's going to be interesting. Interesting to watch. Elliot, fully loaded Sierra AT4 with carbon bed is 70 before incentives. Yeah, there's going around. I have a friend in Florida has one right now, carbon bed on that, and I can't wait to get one. I want to check that out. I want to check the price point out, and I want to see what the true price is. I have sources within GM parts that I want to price out how much that carbon bed really costs. And again, another product that GM came out with that has gotten lost in the mix. It's like the biggest question right now for truck fans is what happened to Chevy? They have a carbon fiber bed. They have new trucks. They have an AT4. They have diesel versions, half tons, and people are talking squat about them. It's a little mind blowing right now to think that they have a brand new truck out there with a ton of new features, and they're getting completely lost in the mix, like completely lost in the mix. And so I just think it's interesting. I just don't know. I don't understand what's going on. It's just a crazy marketplace. Denali Canyon is lacking a lot. I don't remember what the features were. Maybe it was a sunroof, as Brandon says. It was interesting. The guy said he says, his quote is for pickuptrucks.com. I wish it worked for Mark Williams over there. And he said, I would have paid more money to buy that truck with more features. And I mean, it's already like a $50,000 midsize truck, but yeah, it just goes to show that customers want what they want. Let's see. Riley says, I want to buy a diesel, but I don't want to have to deal with emissions, so I'll buy a gas pickup. I could see that. The emission stuff's bad. You know, Riley, you got me thinking about the Wisconsin. I took the family the other day to lunch. It was my choice, and had to hit Culver's. And I'm a bigger guy a little bit, not as big as on camera shows. But I had to hit Culver's. And if you guys know Culver's, and you guys know Wisconsin, Culver's has Wisconsin cheese curds on the menu, and boy, I inhaled the hell out of those things. Big fan of Wisconsin cheese curds, and I love Wisconsin. I need to spend more time there. Like I said, I was born there, but I didn't live there until I was like second grade. And one of my bucket lists is to go to Door County and really check out the area. And I want to go play golf at the famous course along the ocean, or along the lake there. They have the golf tournament there. PGA, I think, tour. Yeah. Anyways, I want to go there. I want to spend more time in Wisconsin. We're talking about buying an RV next year or so, and so one of my trips would be to spend a couple weeks in Wisconsin. I would really like to see how well the carbon bed sells. I would too. Too big to fail. I want a 2-door truck. Hate people in my work truck vehicle. I want to discourage passengers. Perhaps an optional milk crate passenger seat. Yes. I've heard this from people. They're like, I want a regular cab truck. I have less passengers. I have less crud to put in my truck, so that my truck stays cleaner. I can't put stuff in my truck. And Swede's my 62 is a regular cab, and I agree. It's definitely like challenging when you eliminate the passengers and you eliminate stuff. It's pretty challenging how it works out. I hate basic work trucks. I love luxury ones. Every the same thing. I'm getting a custom Silverado in a couple weeks, and so I'll be curious to see what size that is, what cab it is. GM doesn't seem to market the carbon bed at all. I forgot they offered it, Brandon. It is. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? It's like they got lost. Dougie, why is TFL so obsessed with steering wheels? Can't understand that. It is kind of strange. The TFL video was not good. If they put a fancy steering wheel in the truck, the price goes up. Beats the purpose of lower trim levels. I'll say this. I saw the thumbnail, and I saw the title, and I thought, I'm not watching that. Like, it completely turned me off. It's just kind of crazy. A steering wheel is a piece of art. Look at the 2020 Mercedes-Benz steering wheel. Is so beautiful AMG model. Okay, I guess. Yes, the only marketing was the Super Bowl ad, Elliot Manning. Nothing so far since then. I know, yeah. Too big to fail. Chevy sold over 1 million so far this year. The Chevy does well, too big to fail. They really do. But people forget about them. I don't understand it. Hey, Seuss. They should make overlanding vehicles impact resistant, like bulletproof tactical vehicles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the whole overlanding product line is really underplayed by automakers, and they could do a lot more to build stuff. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yes, steering wheels are important because it's something you touch all the time while driving. I agree they're important, but I make a whole video about it. I don't know. Mike, talking about midsize, I don't want to be for the Toyota Flames fan of Toyota Flames here, but interested to see the cab height of the new Tacoma and see if it's taller. Agree, midsize is a lot of need. So, man, Mike, I did that video on getting inside out the Tacoma cab, and you just flip through the comments one of these days. Drink something, flip through the comments, and I'm either short, pudgy dumbass, or I know exactly what I'm talking about. that's kind of where it's at in those comments. And I don't know why. I know why they built the cab that way, design one over engineering, but I hear complaints of Tacoma all the time. All the time. Brendan, I hate when manufacturers add more standard features to base model trucks. That means higher price and defeats the purpose of base models. There is an argument to be made about required safety features too, like backup cameras and stuff. Really increase the price of trucks, and it really has a lot of people fired up about that too. Jesus, thought on Razani military tank vehicle. Are they made for overlanding? Really? What is this? Hold on. I don't have any thoughts. I've never seen it. REZVANI military tank. Wow. Images. Oh, that thing. I've seen this thing. Yes, it is. I don't know what it's built for. It's built to look badass. It looks like a Bronco a little bit now that I look at it again. A Bronco with armor. If you guys have not seen this, go look this up. This is like a Bronco with armor. It's pretty interesting. I've seen this. Now, is that sold in the U.S.? Is that just sold? Where's it sold? Standard 6.4 liter, 500 horsepower V8 optional. Come on. A heart and soul. The problem with this is that you're gonna have a hard time with overlanding with it, in that you're gonna have starting at $260,000 US. Oh my god! But where do you put like your camping stuff, and where do you put like your cooler for your food? I've done overlanding a little bit, and it's basically glorified camping. But I've done it, and you got to have storage for stuff. And this thing doesn't have that much storage. It's got a 6.4 liter. Oh, it's got a Dodge Demon engine, 3.6 liter V6 standard, ballistics armor. It has a smoke screen. You could use that, but I think it might be overkill. Because the Chevy truck interiors are so clean, no one cares. Yes, I agree, but it's still like, come on. Brandon, GMC offers a multi-pro tailgate and regular cab, 2500. Dougie, I've got a 2006 Chevy 2500 I bought new. I can't even tell you what the steering wheel is like. I know the condition of the tires, paint, etc. I don't give AF about the steering wheel. It works. I agree with Dougie. Although Swede's steering wheel is a little bit broken up. I got to do something there, but he's old. He's like 40. Well, actually, 62. Yeah, he's like 50-something years old. Elliot, GM always gets crap. They sometimes get treated like a student that is a solid B student that used to get D's, and it's always reminded of it. Thomas Darwin, on my morning walks, our brothers are rare here. I've been doing morning walks too. It's good for me. I get out there, I see the deer playing in the fields. I get my 3.5 mile walk in. My belly's getting smaller. I'm with you there, Thomas. Brandon, I think that GM gets a lot of crap because they built a lot of crap unreliable vehicles in the past. Look at their trucks, though. They have a great history of reliability for the most part. I know, it's bizarre as a journalist right now when I see these comments, see these videos. GM gets hammered. That's crazy. Riley, I'm going to be in Wisconsin every weekend. Coming up soon, some dating a female up from there. Oh. Juan doesn't like Chevy trucks. No surprise. Just for any news of Ford Ranger T6 platform will be refreshed in 2022 until the production ended after the 2024 model year. Also, the future 2025 Ford Bronco pickup truck based on Jeep Gladiator. Whew, that's a lot of numbers. I will tell you this: the Ranger T6 platform is going to be redone. When it's redone, it's going to be redone globally, in my opinion, be for the United States and for global markets. Ranger Raptor coming back, like I said. After the 2024 model year, also the future, there is talk of a Ford Bronco pickup truck. I think that's really wishful thinking right now. For several years out, I would just keep that in the rumor mill. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed yet. Like I said, Ford's going to have those 500 trucks in that half-ton segment, half-ton and below, and that's a lot of vehicles for consumers. So, yeah. Have you had the banana milkshakes, Tim? So good. Oh, the banana milkshakes. I've not. I was going to get a concrete mixer, but I was so damn full. I had a deluxe cheeseburger and the cheese curds. That's all I can eat, boys. That was so good. That's like 12,000 calories. I like GMC Sierra Denali 2500 2020. Tommy, let's see, Mike. Tommy is on and on about the classic. He is strange sometimes. Roman 2. Tommy gets picked. Tommy gets on little tangents, kind of interesting. They're not truck guys. Yeah, they're. Bye, guys. So defensive when you point out anything wrong with the toilet, so he's offended there. Don't sweat it, Tim. Even us two short, pudgy, fat dumbasses know a thing or two. I agree. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Finish in the comments. No need to talk about a person's build. Well, GM can at least you can sit in the damn things. But driving a midsize myself for a commute, just go for half-ton price discounts. I agree, Mike. It's crazy, the discounts on half-tons. Why not just buy that instead of a midsize? But midsize, parking's easier and the garage is easier. I get it. I think commuting might be less relevant now and even post-COVID, Brandon says. In the Bay Area here, people are not commuting rather than working from home. Some big companies have made the remote work permanent. I think it's going to fuel a lot of changes to the EV car market. I think it's going to go down quite a bit with that, Brandon. I think we're going to see more camping and larger SUVs because people want to go out and do things. And not paying for gas all the time. So if you pay for gas, go for a venture, why not drive a bigger SUV? That's what I'm thinking the marketplace. I don't know. Is 2020 Silverado V6 at 4.3? They offer a 4.3 for the work truck versions. You can't get that. It's a 2.7-liter turbo for the consumer grade Silverado. Taker 610. If you need to talk price of a 6.6 conversion anything, you can't afford one. That's crazy. 9-hour drive one way from Ohio. Yeah, I've been to Ohio many times. I like Wisconsin winters or something, but the cheese in Wisconsin is amazing. Ohio is like, go Buckeyes. If it doesn't cost at least 100,000 once and interested, 85,000 depending on how Gladiator sells. Riley, how much can I get them down for 500 miles in the pickup? I don't know. You're out. I don't know, guys. Not very much. 500 miles isn't very much a dealer lot. I don't think I get much down. But buy it, drive it, enjoy it. It's a truck. Enjoy owning a truck. I will tell you guys one last story before I head out. My dad would drive trucks. Reminded of the story. He'd drive GM Engineering drive from Detroit to Oshawa, Canada, and drive down and grab a bunch of engineers, go to Oshawa, set new truck builds for the next generation truck. And they would all be told to bring long black dress socks, about this long. And the idea was they stopped in the border town there. What is outside of Detroit? Detroit, Michigan, the Windsor. They stopped in Windsor, Canada, and they would buy Canadian beer. They had to buy it warm at the places they shopped at. They'd take the sock, they'd put 2 in the can, they'd tie the top, they roll down the window, put the edge of the sock into the window, roll it up, and by the time they got to Oshawa, their beer was cold. That is engineering for you from Chevy engineers. Those guys were smart. And I'm smart to end this podcast, this live stream before I say anything else wrong. Again, check out the website down below, pickuptrucktalks.com, other videos. You guys have been great. As always, I'll see you down the road.